So the Sony Linkbuds S are currently my favorite earbuds from Sony, and they are the #2 best performing ANC earbuds, second to only the Sony WF-1000XM4s. But if you're looking into getting a pair of mid-tier ANC earbuds, today we're going to compare the Linkbuds S to the Galaxy Buds 2, the Beats Studio Buds, Sennheiser CX Plus, and the Jabra Elite 7 Pros. Regarding pricing, both the Galaxy Buds 2 and Beats Studio Buds have a retail price of $150. The Sennheiser CX Plus have a retail price of $180, and both the Jabra Elite 7 Pro and Sony Linkbuds S have a retail price of $200. But I do expect all of these earbuds to go on sale on a regular basis. Nonetheless, if you're going to pick any of these earbuds up, there will be a link down below, or you can press on the YouTube shopping button. Give it a try. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch shelf down below. I've made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I can be very particular. So I'll only set my name on something that I'm really proud of. Now first, let's talk about these cases. The Linkbuds S, Galaxy Buds 2, and Jabra Elite 7 Pros all have a decent case for everyday carry. They're all relatively small and thin, but personally I do feel the Linkbuds S have the most convenient case here. These are the least noticeable when they're in your pocket. But then there are the Sennheiser CX Plus and Beats Studio Buds case, which aren't as convenient as these other cases. The CX Plus case has a decent footprint, but it is pretty thick, and even though the Studio Buds case is fairly thin, it has a large footprint. Overall, both the CX Plus and Studio Buds are manageable for everyday carry, but they aren't as convenient as these other cases. Now, even though I do prefer the Linkbuds S case here, one major drawback about them is that they don't have wireless charging. And for a pair of higher-end mid-tier earbuds, I do feel that this is a major drawback, because for comparison's sake, the Elite 7 Pros do have wireless charging, and so do the Galaxy Buds 2. But unfortunately, both the CX Plus and Studio Buds also don't have wireless charging, which I also think is a major drawback just given the size of their cases. Regarding battery life, all of these earbuds have decent battery lives. Now, with their ANC turned off, the Jabras have a combined battery life of 30 plus hours. The Galaxy Buds 2 have a combined battery life of 29 hours. The Linkbuds S have a combined battery life of 27 hours. And both the Beats Studio Buds and CX Plus have a combined battery life of 24 hours. But overall, I do feel the Elite 7 Pros have the best case size to battery life ratio here. Plus, they also have wireless charging, and the Galaxy Buds 2 are a close second as well. Whereas the Studio Buds have the worst battery life to case size ratio here because their case is pretty big and they top out at 24 hours. Plus, they also don't have wireless charging. But also, with any of these earbuds, if you were to use them with their active noise cancellation turned on or ambient mode turned on, that is going to drain their battery life faster. But now let's talk about the earbuds themselves. The Galaxy Buds 2, Linkbuds S, Elite 7 Pros, and CX Plus all fit like your standard pair of in-ear earbuds, as in they go into your ear canals a decent amount, and they all offer a decent amount of lockdown. Whereas the Studio Buds are a pair of shallow-fitting in-ear earbuds, similar to the AirPods Pro. So these earbuds don't go in super deep into your ear canals like these other earbuds, making them feel a little more natural and comfortable. But these do like to wiggle out way more than these other earbuds. But the important thing here is that all of these earbuds come included with silicone ear tips, and you can easily wear any of these earbuds for hours on end without any issues. Unlike, let's say, the WF-1000XM4s, which only come included with foam ear tips, and personally, I find these foam ear tips to be very uncomfortable. Nonetheless, all of these earbuds are comfortable, but the Studio Buds are the most natural and least intrusive feeling earbuds here, thanks to their shallow fit, albeit they wiggle out the most here. So if you want better lockdown, then you'll want to go with any of these other earbuds. But if you're looking for a pair of workout earbuds, then I wouldn't recommend any of these earbuds because none of them have ear fins or ear hooks, so they will wiggle out while you exercise. Now when it comes to connectivity, with all of these earbuds, each earbud establishes a connection with your phone. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you can use either one. It doesn't matter. And this is the connection setup that we expect to see on all of our earbuds nowadays. However, with the Jabra Elite 7 Pros, these earbuds can be connected to any two Bluetooth devices at the same time, regardless of operating system. So if you're a a power user with multiple devices, with devices from different ecosystems, then you're going to be able to easily hot swap between any of your two devices. Now, the Galaxy Buds 2, Beats Studio Buds, and Linkbuds S are also good options for power users because all of these earbuds will jump from one device to another device if another device asks to pair with them. But also with the Galaxy Buds 2, if you're a Galaxy power user, then you're going to be able to hot swap between all of your Galaxy devices. And with the Studio Buds, if you're an Apple power user, then you're going to be able to hot swap between all of your Apple devices. But then there are the Sennheiser CX Plus, which I feel are best to use with one primary device. Because with these earbuds, if you want to switch from one device to another, you either got to do that through their app or you got to put them into pairing mode every single time. But when it comes to overall performance, all of these earbuds have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. And when it comes to audio codecs, the Galaxy Buds 2, Beats Studio Buds, and Elite 7 Pros are all using SBC and AAC. Now, AAC is going to be perfectly fine whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. But both the CX Plus and Linkbuds S have support for higher quality audio codecs. Now, the CX Plus have support for SBC, AAC, aptX, and aptX Adaptive, whereas the Linkbuds S have support for SBC, AAC, and LDAC, which is Sony's own in-house high-res audio codec. However, if you want to take advantage of aptX or LDAC, then you do have to be an Android user because iPhones top out at AAC. And if you do decide to use LDAC, then keep in mind LDAC does take its toll on the battery life. Now, the Linkbuds S are rated for 6 hours while they're using AAC and with their active noise cancellation turned on. But while they're using LDAC, these earbuds are only good for up to 3.5 hours of playback time. So LDAC better be worth it to you. But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these earbuds. Now with their stock EQ, the Galaxy Buds 2 sound very bright because these things put an emphasis on the mids and treble. So personally, I like to use these earbuds while in their dynamic EQ because with their dynamic EQ, their mids and treble get relaxed and the bass comes in a little harder. The only issue here is if you want to directly change the EQ on these earbuds or even just interact with their app in general, you have to be an Android user because their app doesn't work on iOS. But then there are the Jabra Elite 7 Pros, which I feel are an upgraded version of the Galaxy Buds 2. But the Galaxy Buds 2 and Elite 7 Pros are better suited for people who like a more vocals-focused EQ. But the bass on the Jabras does hit a little harder than the bass on the Galaxy Buds 2. And the Jabras also have slightly better instrument separation. But with the Jabras, their app works on both Android and iOS. But then there are the Linkbuds S, which I feel are better suited for someone who likes a more bass-heavy sound signature, because these earbuds have more bass than both the Galaxy Buds 2 and Elite 7 Pros, but their instrument separation is relatively the same. And if you were to go into these earbuds app and lower their bass and raise the mids and treble, then the Linkbuds S will sound very similar to both the Galaxy Buds 2 and Elite 7 Pros. But next up, there are the Studio Buds, which I feel are a step up. Now, these earbuds have a very dynamic sound signature. They have very pronounced mids and strong bass, but the bass doesn't overpower the mids when it really gets going, and these earbuds still manage to sound more open than the Galaxy Buds 2, Jabras, and Sony. And the bass on the Studio Buds also resonates much stronger, cleaner, and deeper than the previous 3 earbuds that I just mentioned. But finally, there are the CX Plus, which I feel are another step up. These earbuds sound a little more open than the Studio Buds, which means these earbuds have the best instrument separation here. But what really stands out on these earbuds is their bass. The bass on the CX Plus not only resonates like the bass on the Studio Buds, but it also has a punch to it, which is something none of these other earbuds have. And personally, I feel these earbuds will be able to please everyone. I think these earbuds sound great with their stock EQ, but if you want a bass-heavy EQ, then these earbuds can do that, and they can have more bass than all of these other earbuds if you want them to. Or if you're someone that likes a more neutral or vocals-focused EQ, then these earbuds can also deliver. Plus, they have the best instrument separation here. Overall, I feel the Galaxy Buds 2, Jabra Elite 7 Pros, and Sony Linkbuds S all sound good enough to get the job done. I think the Studio Buds are a step up because they have better instrument separation and deeper resonating bass, and they also offer a more fun listening experience. But the Sennheiser CX Plus are the best sounding earbuds here because they have the best instrument separation and they have that kick in their bass. Plus, whether you like a bass heavy EQ or neutral EQ, they will be able to deliver. Regarding media controls, both the Studio Buds and Jabras are using physical buttons, and for some, this could be a deciding factor, because with all of these other earbuds, they're all using touchpads. Now, these touchpads are all strictly tap-based. They're all very accurate, and they're all easy enough to use. And with the Galaxy Buds 2, they have the Tap the Edge feature, which gives you more functionality from the earbuds themselves than with all of these other earbuds if they're properly set up. But physical buttons are always easier and more accurate. But it is very important to point out that the Studio Buds are the only earbuds here that don't have wear sensors. So these earbuds will not automatically play or pause your music if you take them out of your ears or put them back in. And personally, I do feel that this is a very noticeable inconvenience. Now, when it comes to voice assistants, you're going to have Siri support if you're an iPhone user using the Beats Studio Buds. But given that the Studio Buds charge via a USB-C port, I feel that these are mainly geared towards Android users. If you're a Galaxy user, you're going to have high support with the Galaxy Buds 2. And if you're an Android user, you're going to have support with the Linkbuds S. But with both the Sennheiser CX Plus and Jabra Elite 7 Pros, the only way that you can activate your voice assistant is by pressing and holding on the touchpad. But now let's talk about the active noise cancellation on these earbuds, and I'm actually really excited to talk about the ANC on the Linkbuds S because it's really good. But I do want to taper expectations here. The ANC on these earbuds isn't going to block out nearly as much noise as a proper pair of over-ear ANC headphones, like either the Bose QC45s, AirPod Max, or the Sony WF-1000XM4s, which are currently my top 3 performing ANC headphones. Now, the Sony WF-1000XM4s are still number 1 when it comes to active noise cancellation because they block out a ton of noise. Albeit they do have an advantage because of their itchy foam ear tips, which personally I am just not a fan of. Now, right below them are the Sony Linkbuds S, which also block out a ton of noise. But since these earbuds are using silicone ear tips, they're a lot more comfortable, so personally I do prefer them. Now, right below them are the Sennheiser Momentum 3s, which are also blocking out a ton of noise. Right below them are the Jabra Elite 85Ts. Below them are the AirPods Pro. Below them are the Jabra Elite 7 Pros. Below them are the Beats Fit Pro. And below them are the Galaxy Buds Pro. Now, below the Galaxy Buds Pro are the Beats Studio Buds. Below them are the Galaxy Buds 2, and below them are the Sennheiser CX Plus. So overall, the Linkbuds S are in a whole other league. Now, the Jabra Elite 7 Pros also rank very well when it comes to active noise cancellation, but for all of these other earbuds, not so much. And personally for me, the Linkbuds S are my top performing ANC earbuds because they're a lot more comfortable than the WF-1000XM4s. Now, when it comes to the ambient modes on these earbuds, the Linkbuds S also have a really good sounding ambient mode for mid-tier ANC earbuds. And they also do a really good job of blocking out wind noise when walking outdoors thanks to the mesh covering their microphones. However, the ambient mode on the Studio Buds does sound a little bit more natural. However, their microphone array is a little faster to pick up wind noise when walking outdoors, and plus you can't adjust it to your liking. Now, all of these other earbuds also have an ambient mode, and all of their ambient modes get the job done. But the ambient modes on all of these other earbuds do sound a lot more artificial than the ambient modes found on the Linkbuds S and Beats Studio Buds, and they're also much faster to pick up wind noise. But finally, here's the microphone test. Now, overall, I feel that all of these earbuds have decent enough sounding microphones to take phone calls with while in a quiet room. But I do feel that both the Linkbud S and Jabra Elite 7 Pros do have warmer sounding microphones to them. Whereas with the Studio Buds, I feel that these have a more flat sounding microphone to them, but it also sounds rather robotic. And the microphone on both the CX Plus and Galaxy Buds 2 have a brighter, more amplified sound to them. But overall, I do feel that the Galaxy Buds 2 have the best performing microphone here. The Galaxy Buds 2 do the best job here of dealing with noise pollution, because right now, these earbuds are blocking out a decent amount of road noise, but my voice is still fairly elevated. Because for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the Galaxy Buds 2, it is reduced. Now, the Linkbud S are also trying to block out this road noise, but they're also really pushing down my voice. But then there are the Studio Buds, which are blocking out a little bit more road noise, and they aren't interfering with my voice too much. The CX Plus are also trying to block out this road noise a little bit. And the Jabras are also trying to block out this road noise, albeit there is some interference going on with my voice. And the same thing can be said when it comes to blocking out chatter. The Jabra Elite 7 Pros are also trying to block out this chatter, albeit there is some interference going on with my voice. The CX Plus are also trying to block out this chatter, as well are the Studio Buds. The Linkbud S are also trying to block out this chatter, but again, they're also pushing down my voice. But finally, here are the Galaxy Buds 2, which are also trying to block out this chatter and still keeping my voice fairly elevated. So overall, I feel that all of these earbuds have decent enough sounding microphones to take phone calls with while in a quiet room. But with the Galaxy Buds 2, you can get away with some noise pollution. But with all that being said, if you're trying to choose between any of these mid-tier ANC earbuds and if active noise cancellation is your top priority, then the Sony Linkbud S are the obvious choice here. Plus, these earbuds also have a decent sounding ambient mode, and they also have a really good battery life relative to the size of their case. The main drawbacks about the Linkbud S here is their lack of wireless charging and a so-so sounding microphone for phone calls. The Jabra Elite 7 Pros are also a decent pickup if active noise cancellation is important to you. Plus, they have wireless charging and they have a really good battery life. And they also have physical buttons, which could be a preference for some people. But if you're more concerned about sound, then the Sennheiser CX Plus are the way to go here. These things sound just as good as the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. The drawback with these earbuds is that their ANC isn't the best and they don't have the best case out there for everyday carry, but it is doable. The Studio Buds also sound really good and they offer a more comfortable fit here. But they do have the most cumbersome case here and they don't have wear sensors. But finally, there are the Galaxy Buds 2. Now, don't get me wrong, these earbuds are good. They have all the features that you might want and they're fairly affordable as well. But they don't particularly excel at anything here except their microphone for phone calls. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.